Hey yo Smashers, my name is Ty Cholera, and we recently got a lot of information about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, I will be talking more in depth about most everything we saw at a later point in time, but there was one thing in particular that caught my eye about the Direct. Something that I think will make a lot of people happy, myself included. I'm going to call it Subspace Theory. So, in the Direct, we saw two instances of new stage bosses, being Dracula from Castlevania and the Rathalos from Monster Hunter. However, I would like to pose a question. Are these really stage bosses? Now, why would I say this? We clearly saw these two bosses in areas based on their respective games, with Dracula in his castle and the Rathalos in what was clearly an area for Monster Hunter 4. To that, I would like to point out a discrepancy. As you can clearly see in this footage, the new Draculas Castle stage does not reflect what we see here during the footage of Dracula's boss fight. The Draculas Castle stage has stairs off to the right side, a dip in the center, two small platforms above the dip, and a coffin in the background with large windows displayed above it. In the Dracula boss fight, on the other hand, we see a perfectly flat arena with walk-off edges, no hazards to be seen, and instead of a coffin in the background, we see a large throne. There is nothing you could say that would convince me that these two are the same stage. They may have the same general aesthetic, but they are certainly not the same. The other thing I want to point out about this scene is that we only see one fighter. That makes sense as it is a boss fight, but that wouldn't make sense if Dracula were only a stage boss. I would also like to note that we have seen this formula before. In almost every boss within the Subspace Emissary, with only a few exceptions, the fight took place on a perfectly flat stage with walk-off edges and no hazards. The only exceptions to this rule used Final Destination style stages, which, might I add, is also similar to the Yellow Devil, even if he is a stage hazard as well. Maybe another boss. Furthermore, we see the same formula again with the Rathalos. One fighter, a flat stage, walk-off edges, no hazards. That can't be a coincidence. I would also like to point out that when talking about Dracula, Sakurai said this about how he would appear.
Under what conditions will he appear? Time will tell.
Time will tell? What the heck is that supposed to mean? Can't you just say it's a stage boss like you did with the Yellow Devil? Or Ridley? Or Metalface? All of these stage bosses were explicitly revealed as a stage hazard with their home stage at the same time. Why hold out on us now? You know, the only other thing that Sakurai told us we'd have to wait to see was the censored green mode. Why hide something like that? I mean, I know it's probably because it's not finished yet and they want to hold us in anticipation, but they won't even give us a name. Well, at least they tried to not give us a name. Thanks to Latard on Twitter, sorry if I butchered your name, we now know that this mode is labeled as Spirit. I will admit that I have no idea what this could mean from just the title, but I have reason to believe that this is some sort of adventure/story mode. Obviously, the Dracula and Rathalos boss fights will take place here, as well as some sort of adventure mode featuring the characters in the game. Considering that green labels on the main menu have previously been reserved for a side/single player mode, I think this is a pretty safe bet. I don't know what we could see in it, but I do know that Dracula will be a boss and the Rathalos will be a boss. So, what do you guys think about this? Because I am personally very willing to put money on the fact that we are getting an adventure mode of some sort, with bosses. Is it too much to say story mode? Maybe sort of close to like the Subspace Emissary? Anyways, that's all I have on Subspace Theory for now. If I find something else, I'll update you as soon as I can. But, that's it. I'll see you guys real soon. But until then, I bid you all a curious farewell.